Maude Chauvin, 21, and her sister Patricia Chauvin, 27, moved to Montreal from Angers, France in 1977 and quickly fascinated Montrealers by supplying them with sex and crime news. The blonde bombshell sisters gained notoriety by dating a pair of outlaw brother bandits, Pierre Renaud and Michel Renaud. Michel was short and dreamy, and Pierre was tall and rough. Trouble began when the brothers shot and killed police officer René Vallée on Davard near Van Horn on 16 February 1979 while robbing a jeweler's house. They escaped in their orange Camaro and gained refuge with the Chauvin sisters at their high-rise apartment on Côte St. Catherine, where Michel was already living. The four fled town inside a plane to Puerto Rico, where police arrested them on 25 February. They returned to Montreal, where the sisters were featured in news stories, starting with one that ran before they even touched ground, which saw both of them insisting that they were models and not strippers. They'd abandoned that claim soon after. The sisters had their Perp Walk airport likeness splashed on front pages as they sported shiny high boots and adorable headgear, along with their cop-killing boyfriends. Authorities charged the sisters as accessories after the fact, but after 2 days in Tonga Women's Prison, top criminal attorney Frank Schuffy persuaded a judge to free them without bail. Their conditions were simple: don't leave the island of Montreal, don't change address, and don't have contact with their boyfriends. Schuffy, a West End gang source tells Koulopoulos, offered at least one client to arrange for the sisters to pleasure him in an erotic way. The Chauvin sisters, it seemed, were sexual libertines who loved to love, and Schuffy knew this. Prior to their flight to Puerto Rico, the Chauvin sisters had displayed their delectable young bodies in a wide variety of Montreal strip clubs, calling themselves Sammy and Cindy, performing $3 table dances, and earning an impressive $500 a week. The girls proved sufficiently alluring to march into any nudie club with no prior notice and start right away, something most other dancers couldn't get away with. Strip clubs familiar with the sisters included the Sextuple on St. Lawrence, the Café Caprice on St. Denis, the Harem in Cartierville, Giorgio's in St. Leonard, Le Domino on Pineuf, and the Doric on Taschereau on the South Shore. On 20 March, reporters tracked the Chauvins down to Le Castel Tina at Jean Talon and Viau, where owner Salvatore Gervasi gave them the run of the place in hopes that they'd drum up more business. The sisters seemed untroubled by their looming criminal charges and even saw their prickly legal situation as something of a blessing. One of the good effects of the affair is publicity has brought offers from many clubs, Patricia told a reporter. Their idea was to bring some classy events like erotic fashion shows to the Castel Tina. We hope we can bring some class here, and with it some class customers. The type that drink cognac and don't treat you like trash, said Maude. Maude noted that since her troubles began, friendly people had started introducing themselves to her in the street. But vigilantes also sent them menacing notes condemning their involvement with the death of a police officer. We often wake up in the middle of the night wondering about them. But people have been generally good, she told the reporter. The Chauvins made news in June when Ghislain Maltais, owner of the Hôtel Commercial in l'Abbaye, complained that the sisters had vandalized their premises in his hotel by intentionally blocking drains and flooding their room in retribution for his docking them $10 on their checks for being late to their performances. Montreal police apparently held a simmering hostility towards the sisters for helping out cop killers. Police expressed this hostility in September when they hauled Patricia out of a strip club on Mount Royal Avenue and locked her in a jail on parole violation charges, believing that the women were not permitted to be present in a place that served alcohol. That assumption proved incorrect, but instead of freeing Patricia Chauvin, police kept her behind bars in connection with $100 she owed in unpaid fines. Police refused to allow Patricia to fetch cash to pay the fines or even hug her sister Maude. Patricia kicked and punched an officer in frustration, leading police to charge her with assault. A few weeks later, the Renaud brothers went down in a blaze of glory in October when they busted out of a paddy wagon from the jail to the courthouse and made a mad dash to the U.S. border, resulting in Pierre getting shot dead and Michel getting locked up in an American prison. The Chauvins attended Pierre's funeral and then flew to France to visit family for 3 weeks. On 24 November, prosecutors dropped accessory charges against Maude and Patricia Chauvin. On 11 January 1980, a judge ruled on Patricia's assault charge, ordering her to simply keep the peace for 12 months, thus averting a criminal record.